Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Coach Jones Show. I'm Adam Bell for Charlton Sportsnet, along with the Indians football head coach, Coach Jones. How you doing, Coach?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Well, just getting ready for Friday night. But let's talk about last Friday a little bit. Fell down early a little bit in the game, but the boys, man, they kept battling back. It turned out to be a great ball game. Didn't go like we wanted to, but the Tribe, they showed a lot of fight Friday night.
Yeah, I think the one thing that I'm most proud of is, just being my second year, is, continuing to build on moments of adversity. And, I equate it to, our first year, we either won all the games big or we lost games big. And so one of the things in the offseason that I want to stress to our kids is not so much as finishing, but in adverse times, don't just go completely in the tank because the game's never really over. So we get down 21 going into the half, and really wasn't a bunch to talk about at halftime other than, we've got to make a decision as to, which direction we're going to go in the second half. And, they came out and fought and, had a chance a couple of times there at the end. But there's some things that, I wish we would have done particularly better in the game to give ourselves a chance. But, we're a team. We're going to stick together. We're going to learn from this moment. We're going to learn from all these moments, especially in this non-region schedule, because they don't get any easier when we start region play.
Hey, let's go back just a little bit. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention it was rec night. Huge turnout, rec kids out there. You had the football players, soccer players, all that for the little guys, and the band. I mean, the whole game. And talk about the kids and the tradition here in Charlton.
Yeah,
with
so
rec night.
I know the rec department is really gone and undertaking of returning rec football back to Charlton County.
Right.
And so I know that's been a huge thing for the kids, and I know the excitement leading up to it being rec night. Somebody said to me after the game, I don't know if there was which football game people were kind of tuning into, because you had this one going on in the second half that was kind of back and forth, and then on the practice field you had the kids out there playing a pickup football game. And so that's always good to see. But I don't know, these last 2 weeks we've played as playoff type atmosphere of a game as you can get this early in the season. And to me, it starts, obviously, the night was themed around the rec and the small kids, but then when you look outside of the door and you've got the tailgate going on, and you've got 70 or 80 people up there tailgating, you've got the band of pride on the practice field practicing and warming up, you got the cheerleaders there, you got folks trickling in, you got the grill smoke going from the band up there, and then the tailgate area. So it seems as early. I told our kids before the game, this is as playoff of an atmosphere as you're going to get this early in the year. So definitely the experience of walking out of that and warming up in it and then playing in it, if you handle it the right way, should pay dividends for you later in the year when all of them matter.
Quarterback, you guys just had a big meeting last night.
Yes.
Last night about that, and I think everybody got the email and all the information on that, so that's all covered in the email. But if there's anything you want to hit on.
Yeah, I'm more so proud, of in just such a short amount of time, as many people that have, stepped up and joined the quarterback club. And, I always, would be remiss if I didn't thank, Mr. Brian YULEE for everything that he did for all of the years, and I'm sure a lot of years, not necessarily, and he'd be the last one to probably say he did it on his own, but he did a lot.
Yeah.
And so now, the group has kind of transitioned into more of an executive board with members, and we're in the beginning stages of where we're headed, in this new format. But just excited about the membership. I think everyone is excited about the tailgates on Friday nights, but more so what it does. Our kids notice that stuff when they're out there warming up in their families and their teammates' families. Folks that have grown up around each other their whole lives, or for a good portion of their lives, sitting right out here waiting to support these young men and these young ladies. And not just the football side of things, but the band of pride, the cheerleaders, and the student section, all the kids that are out that could be anywhere else doing something, but on Friday night they're here at home and Champ Bailey Field, supporting the Indians. So I'm excited in such a short amount of time what they've been able to do.
They're really trying to get everybody involved in that.
Yes, sir.
With the quarterback club, with the pregame, the meal over here.
Yes, sir.
I'm up there. I can't get down here for the pre.
We'll see if we can't get him to send you
Maybe
something.
I'll get DoorDash.
Yeah,
Get DoorDash
that's right.
up there to the press
That's
box.
right. Yes, sir.
All right, let's get back to football, Coach. First half, the offense started off a little slow, but like you said, y'all made adjustments at halftime, and obviously made the right adjustments because you guys came storming back in the second half.
Yeah, we started off the game slow. It kind of parallel how it was last year when we were over at Jeff Davis. We kind of started slow and got bogged down with a couple penalties early, and we just never recovered. And then this year we kind of started slow, but just had the feeling that we would eventually, be able to break through and do some things. And you got to listen. We started the season really hot last year. And then we go over there, and then we're shut out last year. So, some of that went in our kids' psyche is definitely something we addressed throughout the week. But I think for me, knowing what type of game this is, Jeff Davis is going to play hard. They're going to play sound in the special teams. And then on offense, they're going to force you to play assignment, discipline football. And somebody's got to tackle the quarterback, and somebody's got to tackle the dive the quarterback and to pitch every play, whether they've got the ball or not. And so, last Friday is definitely one that I want to bury in terms of, how we perform defensively. But it does go to, what my concerns were before the game is it was going to be, at least on their end on offense, however you want to, call it a barroom brawl. It was going to be a nasty, dirty, just dig your hand in the dirt and, 3 yards in a cloud of dust type of game. And the things that have plagued us, early this year and things we need to continue to try to address. I think for me, as a coach, there is no secret formula or magic wand that you can wave to, fix all of your mistakes. All you can do is shine the light on them, address them, make them important, and then, hold your kids accountable. And for me, it's about what you put investment into. And so there are particular times when we're not great tacklers. And so the best thing we can do is to continue to tackle and practice as best as we can and address the problem and hold each other accountable. And so, I think just the one thing that I wanted our kids to know is how hard they really played. If you came and watched the game, the kids played hard. And so I'm proud of them for that. But then the next thing is how do we grow and get better from this? And so that's going to continue to be an area of focus for me. We've got this week, we got next week that finishes off the non-region schedule. And then we go into, not necessarily our off week, but a week where we don't have a game, where we're going to have to spend some time getting better on some things and making them important if we want to maximize every opportunity that this team collectively has. And so, I'm excited, to be able to get out on the field with them again and see how much we've grown through the week and, just have another opportunity to get better.
The Jeff Davis offense, the way they run that wing on your defensive side of the ball, is that more like assignment football?
That's
on the
exactly
defense?
what it is.
It's exactly what it is.
Yeah,
everybody has a
outside
specific person they get.
Outside of it being assignment football, if you're tackle to tackle or wing to wing, chances are you're going to be on the ground or somebody's coming right at your face every single snap.
Right.
And so that's something mentally that you've got to be prepared for. And it was an area of concern for me just because I knew what challenge it presented it to us last year. And that's an area of our program that I want to continue to grow in and year out. I relish and respect all the teams that come and line up and just put their hand in the dirt and say, here I come every single play, and what are you going to do about it? Because I want our kids, whether it's run or pass, to have that mentality that, 3 yards in a cloud of dust or, whether I pass it and go backwards and put my hands on you,
right.
I'm going to forcefully do it, and it's going to happen every single snap. And if you don't like it, I'm going to make you love it. And so that's just one of them games that I go back and look at that I will study and I will watch. And no matter how many times you watch it, the outcome doesn't change, but it definitely, again, shines a light on it for you of this is where we've got to get better at. And there's no reason to, not say it or not, announce it. It's something that if you're watching the game, you clearly see this is the style of ball we're playing tonight. And so, a couple drives where we kind of put something together and we were able to, either force a punt or force a turnover. Again, proud of our kids because that just goes to show when something's not going well, you could just as easily fold it up. And I don't think people understand sometimes how easy it is just in life in general. You take the football, because if you've played football, there's no way that you don't take a life lesson out of it, at least one thing. Right. And there are probably millions of life lessons that I take out of this game. Some mental, some physical. A lot of them, the older I get, are spiritual. But more so than anything, knowing that you're getting ready to play this game, training your mindset for it so that when you come out on a Friday night, it's not foreign to you. It's definitely something that I want to continue for our mindset to grow in.
Let me take a quick break real quick. I got to check on the laptop, and we'll be right back right after this. Sorry about that. I don't want to die when I start the show.
I got you.
All right, welcome back, y'all. We never went to a break, Coach. I didn't hit the button. I apologize, y'all. Technical difficulty on my part. It helps to plug in the equipment, Coach.
I'm with you, yeah. It's like being at a football game. It helps to have the footballs there, yeah.
That's a halftime adjustment right there,
Yeah, I got you. You're already a step ahead.
Hey, going into the second half, if you could, talk about the mood in the locker room, because obviously you guys came out firing in the second half. How about your leaders? Your leaders in the locker room, did they step up and rally the rest of the team?
It wasn't necessarily, well, obviously the mood in here wasn't great. It wasn't upbeat. It wasn't, let's go out here and get it done.
Okay.
And I think in a lot of instances, rightfully so, when you're, as much as we as adults have lived through moments probably like this, or you've been on the winning end of things, you come in, kids are different. They come in and say, well, why aren't we winning? Well, let's focus our attention on.
It was business.
Yeah, well, it's like what's allowing us not to win. And
okay.
So literally the only adjustment, if anything, was, guys, we got a choice we've got to make right now for the sake of this team and the sake of where we want our program headed. We can go out and we can wallow in whatever it is that didn't go right the first half and continue to beat yourself up over whatever has happened, good, bad, or indifferent. Right, I look at it all the same. If you score a touchdown and you know you're capable of doing that, well, I want you focused on scoring the next one and not necessarily, did you see that celebration I did, or did you see me catch the ball? Right. Yeah, there's time to do that, but now let's go out and try to do it again. And so coming in the second half, the choice was, the call was laid down that we're going to go out and we're going to make a choice of either doing this or doing this. And so for me, the maturity of our team showed that when they came out, there was a sense of let's go play better. And I think a lot of that for them internally was we know we can play better. We're just not now it's time to go do it.
Okay.
And it's one thing to say that to yourself, but then it's another thing, Adam, to truly go out there and do it. And so when I talk about after a loss, being proud of you and what am I proud of, I'm proud of that. I'm proud of the fight. It is not always easy to fight when you're down for a multitude of reasons, but don't make an excuse about it. Let's go out and keep fighting and keep playing until the clock literally strikes zero, and then let the chips fall where they may. And so I'm extremely proud of our kids for doing that. And I can say that because that is a lived experience. We did not always do that my first year here. And it helped me learn a lot about where we needed to head with this thing and what we were preaching, every day and in the off season. So, again, I could talk to you all night about how proud of when I walked in here, what all happened in this room, and then when we went back out and what they did the second half. We just, got down too soon, too early, didn't make enough stops, didn't, perform well enough in certain situations, and you live and you learn.
I know in the second half we started throwing the ball deep, and we had open receivers, but I know AJ was under a lot of pressure too, having to move the pocket back and forth. Did that affect the timing? Because there wasn't, you know what I mean, between AJ Glover and your receivers, because I know there was a couple of times deep going that way that receivers were open, but the passes were just a little long. So I was wondering maybe if that was just pressure from the pressure or mistimed routes, or what was that?
No, I think, unless we call a pass play where we're trying to get him moving, anytime that he's standing back in the pocket and he has to get off his spot, I think it does one or two things. Obviously, everyone knows about, how well of an athlete AJ is. So, I don't want to take anything away from what he brings to the game. But obviously, if he's got to step off his pocket, I think, sometimes that's where, he performs, really well because of his skill set. But then obviously there's some, and I say some things, a majority of things we want him to be able to sit where he's supposed to and have his eyes and his reads. But, I think it's, to answer your question directly, I think, I'd need to see the individual plays and, be able to provide context and not speak wildly to, hey, this guy's, has got to do a better job on this player. Maybe the receiver didn't do what he was supposed to. I think I'd have to see individually what it is you're asking about to provide context. But no, unless we're asking AJ to get, into a situation where he's making a read on a throw or we want him running, that's one thing. But obviously, if we're in a drop back pass situation, there's certain reads and we want him to be comfortable enough to be able to throw it. So
I know as fans, people tend to put things on the onus on one person or another, but there's a whole lot of stuff going on that field. Between the line, the quarterback, pressure, receivers trying to get open. It's a whole combination of events. It's not just one person.
Yeah. So to that,
not to me.
Today you bring up a good point. Obviously, thankful for the fans, not just on our side, but the ones that come and support. The opposing team, especially when we're at home, we always want big crowds, right? But without being able to provide context to, obviously we know somebody didn't get something done on that play if it's not successful. And it's so easy, to point fingers. And I know for, our kids, this is, really big stadium, really nice stadium for, a single A school. But our kids, they know when they've done something wrong, and then they probably know when, their name's been called for doing it wrong. And so it's not the greatest feeling, but I would tell you, what should be used as maybe a motivational thing turns into a thing where, one of us coaches or, you ask about leadership, it's probably the best thing that I saw Friday night. If a guy did something wrong, he's got a teammate telling him to come on, hey, let it go, bury it, leave it alone, do better next time, or hey, what didn't you, or ask him, what didn't you do right, and not letting him just sit and sulk and wallow in it. That's probably the one thing, if anything, that, I would never want any kid in my program to do. If you make a mistake, that's bound to happen. That's a part of life. But don't sit and continue to beat yourself over something that you're probably going to have an opportunity, not necessarily on that individual play, but something that you're going to have the opportunity on another play to try to be successful at.
When you talk about toward the end of the game, scores 35-26, decide to go for two on that last possession. Can you talk about the process of deciding that versus maybe trying the extra point, even though I realize we missed one, trying the extra point, staying within 8, and hopefully get an onside kick and go back down? What are your thoughts on that? Obviously, your thoughts were what happened.
Yeah,
but you know what I mean?
My mind is if we go score, we're in a situation where I can kick the extra point and go to overtime or score and win the game. Had already made my mind up prior to it being that way. We were going to go for 2, and then on the next
go for 2 and be within 7.
Well, and then we were going to go for 2 and win the game.
Right.
That was, my attitude.
So that was your goal, was to put yourself in a position to win it, not tie it.
Yes.
Okay. I got you.
And you got it from an understand all the momentum was
Absolutely
on our side.
Yeah.
Where it was completely about dead on our side. It was coming in waves. The crowd was back into it. The band was into it. The kids were into it. The lights were flickering every few minutes. So you go to win the game.
I like that. You after the W, not the tie and forcing the overtime, maybe, if things had happened.
Exactly.
You were going for that W in regulation.
100%.
I got you, Coach. I like it.
100%.
I like it. Hey, we got some players in here. You want to hit these guys here in the next break?
Yes, sir.
All right. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with the Coach Jones Show right after this.
Yes, sir.
So, tell us, how long have you known?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Then why don't you explain this, Mark? Found this in your house.
You ignored it, didn't you? I thought I had more time.
Really, Mark? Does this look like you had more time? You know what you should have done, right?
I should have called True Force.
Well, now you can.
Ignoring the signs won't make the problem go away. Call True Force Roofing today.
In your time of need, give Rob Robertson a call at 912-496-7388. Shepherd Robertson Funeral Home says go Indians.
AGM Packaging Corporation is one of America's leading manufacturers of sustainably sourced and produced disposable paper products, including paper plates, cups, bowls, and bags. AGM is a family-owned business that was founded in 1957, and our family values are still present today across all locations. We are currently growing and have several career opportunities that offer competitive compensation, advancement opportunities, and employer-paid benefits. Please apply at agmpack.com/careers or come to our facility at 569 Bowery Lane in Folkestone to fill out an application today. We look forward to meeting and greeting you at our facility.
ESP Specialist in Fabrication is located at 169 Little Phoebe Church Road in Folkestone, Georgia. President Mark Pickering and his employees utilize the latest technology with a skilled workforce to supply customers with the best custom fabrication possible. Serving clients at home and abroad makes ESP a premier employer in Charlton County. For all your specialty and fabrication needs, contact ESP at 912-496-2583 today. They're also on Facebook at ESP Specialist Fabrication. ESP is a proud sponsor of Charlton Sportsnet.
Charlton Electric, serving Charlton and surrounding counties with over 20 years experience in both commercial and residential services. Our electricians can meet your needs. We offer installation on whole house generators, service upgrades for mobile home services, troubleshooting, ceiling fan and light fixtures, and much more. Call us today for an estimate, 912-496-4528. Welcome back to the Coach Jones Show. Here's Coach Jones with the player spotlights and players of the game, right, Coach?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Got two phenomenal young men here with us. Number 19, Caleb Maynard, and number 79, Joseph Zetmeyer. Caleb is our special teams player of the week, and Joseph is our offensive player of the week. First and foremost, welcome in. Happy to have you both here. I'll talk about Caleb really quick. Caleb is a freshman for us this year, and Caleb is chosen special teams player of the week. He is our holder on all of our kicks, and being able to have the different multiple angles of the during the game, being able to watch Caleb and what I know is high pressure situations, field snaps, and place it on the tee and get the ball turned around like we like it is an unbelievable task, and just a testament to how the year has been for Caleb, because it has not started off the best. He got sick at the first game, and it's kind of battled through the off season. And so Caleb, welcome, and what goes into your preparation weekly for what you're able to do on Fridays?
My preparation is just doing the best thing that I can do, doing best of what I do right, doing what I coach to do, and make sure we execute at all times.
All right. So when you're sitting out there Friday night and you're fielding the kicks, what honestly, if anything, goes through your head? Are you thinking? Are you nervous? You may drop the ball. Or what's going through your head?
Really, I'm not thinking at all, because I know if I practice it, I'll be able to do it in the game. Just feel no pressure and do what I know I can do.
All right. So through the week, just talk to us. This is one thing I hadn't really asked the guys this year, but when you make a mistake, what goes into your thinking about what to do next? What's your thought process on how you handle a mistake, first of all, because it's bound to happen, and then where do you go from there?
Really, I don't really think about it. I just get out of my head, make sure I do the right thing the next time I go up there.
I will tell you this. I know for folks, in the morning, my morning duty spot is right here in front of all my freshman football players and their freshman friends, and so he's had a couple buddies that have been on the show that have gotten nervous. So do you think you've handled this moment better than they have?
Yes, sir.
Are you probably gonna talk a little trash to them in the morning?
Yes, sir.
I got you. All right. Well, bringing in next, number 79, Joseph Zetmeyer. Joseph, welcome. I will tell you the most, exciting thing when it comes to my mind when I think about Joseph, who we lovingly call Jay-Z, is how consistent he is. Good, bad, indifferent. Joseph is going to be, consistent. He cares. He aims to please. He's always asking how he can get better. I know he spent a lot of time this offseason kind of traveling around to try to get himself some notoriety, in the college circuit. And so, Joseph, I want to first and foremost, in your senior year, I'm extremely proud of you, extremely proud of how hard you've worked. And, you make, coaching fun. And again, like I said, there's nothing else greater that I can give you other than how consistent you are, with your attitude and your effort. And so, just walk me through. I know Friday didn't end particularly well, for us, as a team, but just kind of walk me through what were your, kind of highlights of the game.
My highlights of the game, pass pro. For me, Friday night was real good. We were going to get some real good edge rushers. They're real quick, real strong. That was really my main highlights of the game.
All right, so just kind of walk us through. I know Mr. Bell kind of asked a question about halftime, and from a player's perspective, it didn't necessarily feel good. We weren't playing well. Defensively, we hadn't really done anything in the special teams, and we kind of were starting to kind of get going offensive, but we were kind of sleepwalking through it. Just from a player's perspective, talk to me about halftime and what you think kind of led to the turnaround.
Personally, I came in mad. I came in mad because I knew we could do better. I know a couple of my teammates did too, and I felt like we just needed a lot of fire in our tails and get it going because we had to play better.
All right. Well, this is something that I always do, every week, and no pressure, no obligation to name any one person. But Joseph, if you've had to, who's been somebody who's been, impactful, at home, and who's been somebody that's been impactful, here at CCHS? It could be a teacher, it could be anyone. It's your senior year, you've been here, this is going into your fourth year. Who's somebody, or people you'd like to shout out?
My dad and my grandpa, really. Always supporting me, pushing me, telling me, just go bust some tail. That's pretty much what they tell me.
Okay. All right. And thinking back during, your time here at Charlton County, who's been a teacher who's been one of the most impactful people to you?
Probably one of the most impactful, Miss Cooper, my English teacher. She's always real supportive. Coach Lloyd, when he was here, he was always a big support to everybody. No matter what you did, he always supported you no matter what.
Good, awesome. Caleb, now we're going to shift to you. Who's somebody obviously your short time, this is you've had your first full month in high school. So you maybe necessarily hadn't, found your groove and had, experienced every teacher, but who's been somebody that's been impactful to you in your life and in your short time here? Who's been, a faculty, staff member, anybody that's been, a great help to you?
One teacher that has a big impact on me is Coach Ward. Coach Ward always tell me I can do anything I put my mind to, and he always just been there for me.
Okay, and then anybody, out in the community, at home, anybody you want to thank? God, I've got a long, I do not prep our kids. So to the moms, dads, uncles, aunts, grandparents that help these youngins, I promise you, they thank you for all the rides, all the food, everything. So with that, thank y'all, men. Happy to have y'all here. Hope you earn the right to be up here again.
All right, a couple of great young men. We're going to take a quick break, and we've got two more coming up.
Yes, sir.
Two more coming up next. We'll be right back on the Coach Jones Show right after this.
Good Lord.
With Folkestone Furniture. Join us as we mark 80 incredible years of comfort, quality, and community. Looking for the perfect outfit, gift, or accessory? Come experience The Crossings, a locally owned boutique that's been serving the heart of our community for 21 years. From timeless classics to the latest trends, you'll find hand-picked styles and one-of-a-kind treasures that make every visit special.
Hey Indians fans, are you looking for a better banking experience? At Georgia's Own Credit Union, our goal is to save you money. We'll help you level up your game with better rates, lower fees, and easy access to your funds. With 29 branches and a network of over 30,000 ATMs, we're never far away. Best of all, we support the people, places, and teams that make Georgia great. Stop by our local office at 3773 2nd Street South in Folkestone. To learn more about Georgia's Own, visit georgiasown.org. Georgia's Own is federally insured by the NCUA.
Allen Aldridge Insurance, located in Kingsland, Georgia, is proud to serve the communities of Charlton and Camden counties, offering life, home, car, and business insurance. See Andy Gowan today for your insurance needs. Phone 912-729-7600 for more information. Protecting you is what we do. Gowan Aldridge Insurance is a proud sponsor of the Charlton Sports Network.
Your next adventure starts here
at Walker Jones GMC. Summertime. The kids are out of school and into everything. Family vacations and outings, fishing and swimming. And let's not forget it's also the busy season at work. Good thing summer is the season of savings at Walker Jones GMC. Big savings on used cars, too.
We got it all. Why shop anywhere else?
GMC, we are professional grade. Walker Jones GMC, Memorial Drive in Waycross, and online at walkerjonesgmc.com. Supplies and sales at 73125.
For nearly 20 years, Georgia.
All right, welcome back to the Coach Jones Show. Here's your host, Coach Jones. Coach.
Back with two more of our player spotlights, players of the game from last week. Our defensive player of the game from last week was number 6, Elijah Bryant, and our Iron Indian, young man that has been super productive, has captivated people, through the first few weeks of the season. On the offensive side of the ball has been number 0, Khalil Smith. Welcome in. How are y'all tonight?
Good.
Good.
Men of few words. So I'll start with Elijah. So Elijah kind of talked and given but kind of a backstory about Elijah. He spent most of last summer injured, and I know it really affected him. Early in the season. He was just so eager to get back, and we want him to kind of make sure he was healthy. And then leading into this year, Elijah is literally one of the strongest young men in our program. Super happy that, he's going to be back another year. And so, Elijah, I know last week was, not necessarily how, we wanted it to turn out, but just kind of talk about, your preparation through the week and, talk about anything you want to talk about Friday night. I know one of the big things that we kind of took out of it was, growing together and, moving through adverse times. I know me and you had an interaction, at halftime where you kind of came to me and told me, Coach, I'm ready to go. And so that meant a lot to me. I wanted to share that with you out in this forum in front of everybody. I felt the genuineness in that moment and saw you do some really good things second half. So just, kind of talk about the week. And, again, I know it's not the outcome we wanted, but just kind of walk everybody through.
Well, first off, I want to say, I work hard at practice and try, even though I used to be a Sam, I had to, go to Mike and just be ready for whatever. And that's for the first half, it was, a lot of confusion because, I'm at a new position and stuff. But I had to, stay focused because I was told to be on the QB and know what I was doing. And then I had to walk myself through it and, pay attention and stuff. And then I was kind of frustrated. And when Coach came to me and was like, Elijah, you got to chill. And I was like, I was like I said, I was frustrated. Like, man, I don't know. And then that's when the second half hit. We came in here. I had told him like I'm ready to lock in. I was ready to lock in, but like I was frustrated about everything, you know. 'Cause I feel like everything was my fault. Cause being the mic back, when going against a wing T, they coming up the middle, you gonna feel like it's your fault. But you know, I had to just realized my teammates was there. You know, we played together. You know, and had a better outcome than we had first half. And yeah.
All right, and we'll move on to Khalil. Khalil, I know you rarely do you come off the field, and didn't even fail to mention this. You field punts and field kicks, and so Khalil, just talk about. You know, I know this is your week, mate. 2 really huge plays. I think you had 3 receptions, 3 touchdowns. Is that right?
I had 4 receptions, 2 touchdowns.
4 receptions, 2 touchdowns. Just kind of talk about how has this year been. I would tell you in the offseason, Khalil ran track, kind of saw that through. I can see where it's paid dividends for him. But I know one of the big things for Khalil and for us is, wanting to get him touches, wanting to get the ball in his hands. And first of all, you make us look really smart, wanting to get the ball in your hands. But just kind of talk to us about, how the beginning of this season is kind of taking off and, just your preparation that goes into it and anything else you want to say.
It all started in the summer, really. Just getting prepared, getting all the play calls and repping everything, filming everything, making sure everything was somewhat perfect. And we having a good season starting off. And I just been having a lot of reps and practice to get me prepared for the game, and I was able to produce in the game and make big plays for my team. And Friday, I was just like my second touchdown. It just gave us the spark and the motivation that we needed for us to come back in the second half and we basically won the second half, but we just started off real slow in the first. So that second touchdown just gave us real spark and just got the crowd more involved in the game and showed everybody that we had a chance to come back.
Well, one of my favorite things, I know this is a bit off topic, but this is if I don't ever get Khalil, if Khalil's never back up, I won't get to have this moment with him. I love making Khalil smile because he rarely says anything. If Khalil's in the room, if you don't make him say anything, you don't even know he's there. But Khalil, do you enjoy our live and in color instant replay segments at practice?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Which one?
Anytime that you catch a ball and I'm standing there and I'm the ref, do you enjoy them segments of practice?
Look, every time I have a great catch, he says incomplete every time.
Do you ever catch him?
I catch him every time.
You do?
Even the second touchdown, Coach Carter says incomplete, just to say it.
That motivates you?
It just,
I mean, because when at practice, to look for me because especially if you have to dive for one.
Yeah.
I've started getting Omar and some of them other guys in on it too. But no, Khalil and Elijah have been a joy to have. And just like I did with the first couple of guys, is there anybody in your life at home? Is there anybody? Well, first I'd like for you to pick at least 2 different sets of people, somebody at home and then somebody that's here at Charlton County High School that's been impactful to you. I know Elijah's been here longer than Khalil has, so Elijah's who's somebody at home and then somebody at school that you look up to.
My grandma and my granddaddy, they always told me to keep pushing, through hard times. And for at school, Coach Swing and Coach Lloyd and Coach Jones.
It'll be my mom and my little brother, because my little brother, every time I make a play, he show everybody, the whole family. He send it to everybody. And in school, I'll say Coach Jones and Miss YULEE.
All right, I'm glad you said your little brother because that's my guy, one of my favorite. But thank you both, for what you do. Happy that you all are on our team, and I appreciate you guys at halftime. Again, I could, if I had time to have all of our kids up here. We really grew at halftime, and it wasn't a, come in, and I've seen, follow high school football, you see the different documentaries that have come throughout the years of coaches and how they motivate teams. And I didn't feel that was a kick a cooler or flip a table kind of moment. It was like, hey, we've been in this situation now. At some point, we've got to make a decision as to which way we're going to go. And the story that I shared about Elijah was real. It happened right outside of this door, right in front of his locker. And it wasn't yelling and back and forth. It was, hey, I know you love me and I love you. Now, you can sulk and what happened, or you can come out because these guys in here need you. You know what I mean? And so, Khalil's pretty quiet. You go to him and talk to him, and it's kind of like Joseph. And hey, we got to do this, and it's yes sir, and let's go. And so, super proud of you guys. Super proud of you guys. Glad we grew in the moment, and I know you all share the same sentiment I did about. Not necessarily about the outcome and making excuses, but, how can we go get better? So thank y'all both.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back. Our final segment right here on the Coach Jones Show.
Membership cooperatives have made Friday night football electrifying. As the official energy provider of the GHSA, Georgia's EMCs are proud to support high school athletics in the communities we serve, standing behind every hike, every completed pass, and every team celebration. Because we know that today's high school athletes are tomorrow's local leaders. Georgia's EMCs.
Seasons Floral, located at 4415 2nd Street North in Folkestone, Georgia, has all of your floral needs covered, from Valentine's to birthdays and weddings to life celebrations, proms, special occasions, or just to say you love that someone special. We deliver as well. Call 912-496-7043 and we'll assist you with any floral need at Four Seasons Floral.
So, tell us, how long have you known?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Then why don't you explain this, Mark? Found this in your house.
You ignored it, didn't you? I thought I had more time.
Really, Mark? Does this look like you had more time? You know what you should have done, right?
I should have called True Force.
Well, now you can't.
Ignoring the signs won't make the problem go away. Call True Force Roofing today.
All right, welcome back to the Coach Jones Show. I'm going to stay on this side of the laptop for this final segment. Coach, talk about the YULEE Hornets. We've been over there a couple of years ago. They came here last year. They're a good ball club. Good ball club. What do you expect out of the Hornets Friday night?
They're extremely tough. Coach has got them going this year. I thought that they were tough last year. I'm not extremely unfamiliar with YULEE. We didn't get to play them when I was in high school at Raines. They were really, I don't know if they had gotten going really, but we did not have the opportunity to play them. I definitely knew who they were. They just continue to get better. I know they're known for being the hometown of Derrick Henry, but Coach has got them going, and I say this to our kids last year. I know this is a game that the score says that we won, but we were within a score of each other at halftime last year, and I thought that they were tough last year. Little different identity this year, a lot heavier sets that they're lining up in, and they're starting the season. The biggest difference is they're starting the season 2-0 this year, not 0-2. Right. Like last year at this time. So they're much improved. They beat Union County the first game of the season, team that we scrimmaged in the spring, and then beat Clay County, which has been perennially a good team in Clay County right outside of Jacksonville. So they have our full attention, and it should be a great atmosphere for high school football once again. Again, I don't know what it is this year, but we keep – encounter ourselves in these games that are you know, that should be well attended and really big games early in the year. So happy about that for our kids. And I know what's right around the corner. We you know, YULEE's got our full attention this week, and then obviously next week we've got Toombs County. We've got two really big non-region games left that, you know, are kind of not necessarily our opening acts or our auditions going into the region play, but we have played some really good teams in different areas that will have gotten us prepared for you know, the gauntlet that is, you know, Region 2 football. And it's as tough and up in your face as it gets. So you know, proud of the different elements that are presented in our non-region schedule, and it's tougher teams as we've had. We've got several different playoff teams, I think, you know, this early in the year that we've played thus far. And so, you know, we've got Friday night's no different. We got to come ready to play.
We're going to need our road warriors down there, and our road warriors need to know. I've been there a few times. I was there a couple of years ago, and it's parking's a situation in its own, and it's a small stadium. I know we're Class A. We probably seat double what they do in their 5A. Yeah. So our road warriors need to get there early. Yeah. Get there early Friday night. Defensively for the Indians, they're not like a Jeff Davis type offense. They're more of an opened up offense, right? Yeah. It's more of an assignment type football for the Indians.
Yeah. So this week they just present a different level of challenge. They're going to snap the ball from the shotgun formation. And they give you some 20 personnel, 21 personnel sets. And then they've got some spread sets. And so, you know, coaches, I don't say necessarily has changed very much from what they've done last year in terms of offensive philosophy. Coaches just found some stuff that has been really good for them offensively. And they're riding it till the cows come home. And just looking at their schedule, later in the year, there are a lot of friends of mine that are in Jacksonville coaching that they play later in the year, where they really have found an identity for themselves, and they will be, you know, a team to watch, you know, down in the North Florida area.
Do you know, as far as the field down there, I know a couple of years ago, it's probably as close as I've ever seen any AD pull a football team off a field. I thought Dusty was going to do it. A lot of potholes in that field a few years ago. Do they have all that straightened out coming into this year? Do you know?
I'm not sure. We played a JV game over there, and I don't remember the field being too terrible. I think when it rains, it may not drain well in certain spots, I think is what I remember from last year. I know that the locker room that we would need to dress in is probably walking distance from where we're sitting right now to our weight room across the street. Right. So we will set up a makeshift locker room area that we'll try to secure to make sure our kids are safe. But there's no way we can ask our kids to walk a country mile to a locker room. And I say that it is a good distance from where the field surface is. And for any of the fans that are coming, got an email from their admin today. The gates there will open at 6:30. The tickets can only be purchased on GoFan. Parking is a bit of a situation. Typically, if you don't get there early, and unless they've done something different with assigned parking, their parking lot is not extremely big, and it will fill up fast. And most of the people that attend the games park along the street on the outside. So I'm expecting for it to be a really, really big crowd for them. I know we will travel well, and so it will be one that you want to get there.
Definitely get there early.
Yeah, so the gates will open at 6:30. Right. Tickets can only be purchased on GoFan, and then they've got kind of the one entrance to get in, and so I would tell people to be patient. I can't remember whether there's a clear bag policy, but I know Coach Schwingle get all that information out. We'll obviously share it with you, and I know you always share that stuff. But no, it's again, like you said, their stadium is what it is. But when it all boils down to it, when it's time to play, it's time to play. And so hope our kids are super excited to get back out there and get going. And I say that the hope part comes in. This is a long and draining season. I think I read something, last night. And one of the things I'm always concerned with, whether we're, up at the top or down below, or how our kids are doing, because this thing really is a roller coaster, and it's, up and down, and, it's, health and mental health and social health and so many different, factors that go into how your kids are doing. So, I'm just so appreciative of, like I always say this, we never do everything perfect, but our kids always find a way to get better at something. And you saw the interaction with the kids that were here just now, wanting to know if there's anything that they can help me do. And it's, almost 8 o'clock and they should have been home by now. But I'm excited for our kids to just have another opportunity to go perform and do it together, and make enough plays to have won the game. And anytime I'm on the show, I always want to give thanks to my family. I always tell you how much I appreciate you, because this is an awesome platform.
Yeah, we're going. Obviously, you're aware of the situation, extenuating circumstances down there for CSN. But we're going to make the trip, but we're definitely looking for sponsors, specifically for Friday night.
Please sponsor CSN. We found out today that CSN's encountering some pitfalls. So if anyone wants to donate, so that they can continue this awesome platform for our kids, it would be greatly appreciated. I know by you, and I know there are a lot of people who can make the games weekly, for whatever reason, that appreciate the platform that you have.
Yeah, well, we're going to get it done for you, Coach. We're going to be down there, so we're going to battle through it for you.
Yes, sir.
But I know you guys y'all going to battle from the first quarter to the fourth too. So it's going to be a great ball game.
Yeah, it is, and like I always say, I want to thank my coaches and their families for the unbelievable sacrifice they make. Thank our admin, Mr. Tommy Harris, our principal, Mr. Zach Wittenberg, our AP, all of the multitude of the ladies in the front office, the ladies in the cafeteria, Miss Betty, Miss Trish, that come over and clean every night, but are at the school. Mr. Dane, just Deputy Hill, just everyone that makes being a Charlton County Indian special. All of our faculty and staff members that do an amazing job for all of our kids. And I always want to thank my family, my wife Terry, my daughter Taylor, who I know is watching. My dad, my mom, my brother, who I know are watching, and probably got some cousins that I've been failing to send the link out to every week so that they could be a part in some form or fashion. One of my cousins texted me tonight, so AJ, love you, man. Trish, just everyone that supports me. I always say this, and I really, really mean it. I couldn't be who I am. I could not be where I am without the strong village that I have, and I feel so blessed, even through times of adversity. I was just talking to one of my uncles yesterday. He was praying with me and praying for me, and I need that stuff. We all do, especially when you're in this part of the year where every day may not be your best day, right? And so I'm just thankful. I really am. I'm thankful for not the outcome, but I'm thankful for the lesson that was wrapped up in it. And I know in due time our kids will not only have gotten that lesson, but they will reap the reward. So excited about continuing on through this non-region schedule, and Lord's willing, we get through these next 2 weeks with no injuries and get ramped up for region play.
And before we head out, Coach, Quarterback Club's having a chicken dinner Saturday.
Yes,
right?
Quarterback Club is having a chicken dinner on Saturday.
Folkestone Furniture?
Yes, I want to say it was downtown. I will get the exact information and be able to send it out. But I know the cooking starts at 9, and our president, Mr. Benji Hewlin, would like to have the first plates ready at 11, and then kind of go from 11 to 12. But there will be some players that'll be in Jersey, and that'll be walking around downtown, I believe, handing some of our posters out with our seniors on here, and our schedule and all the other information that we have, our middle school schedule on here. And so look out on Saturday to be able to support the Quarterback Club and our football program with the chicken dinner. And so I know Mr. Benji would like for me to continue to promote, folks joining the quarterback club. Our next meeting is Monday, September the, I won't tell you wrong. It is 2 weeks from yesterday, so Monday, September the 15th is our next quarterback club meeting, and they're held here. They're open to everyone. We'd like as many people to join as possible. Everything that group does goes directly back into our football program, so definitely appreciative of everyone who's already stepped into the role of being a quarterback club member, and we want as many people as we have. So.
All right. Anything else you want to hit on, Coach?
No.
Before we head out?
No, just safe travels to everyone coming to the game. We will get any and all important information about the game out to you. And just for our kids, the Band of Pride, our cheerleaders, if I don't ever get to be in the formal environment to be able to tell you, Coach Jones loves you. I see what you do, Band of Pride. I see what you do, cheerleaders. Obviously, for our football players, I get the opportunity to tell them every day. But I love each and every one of you. You could be doing anything else, but you're choosing to do what you're doing. And there is a life lesson, that will be played out. Enjoy every single moment of this, and thank you all. Love you. Go try it.
All right, we'll see you Friday night, Coach. Good luck Friday.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, go Indians. We'll see y'all Friday. Kick off at 7:30. Get there early. Have a great night, everybody.